Order. All right, as the, since our president and vice president is not here today, we have to elect a president pro tem. And are there any motions on the floor?
Yes,
to
I
elect
make
pro
a
tem?
motion to elect Sean Pettit for our president.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right,
Okay, motion approved.
motion approved.
Thank you.
We need a
Do we
need a voice vote.
call?
Yes, we need a voice vote.
Okay,
voice
you have to
vote.
call.
All right. So we
Mr.
need a-
January, will you just call for a voice vote so it can be
Yes.
recorded?
Can we have a vote, excuse me.
Yes.
As many as in
All in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
As many opposed?
As many as opposed.
Motion approved.
Motion approved.
There you go.
All right.
Thank
We
you,
need a
Mr. January.
vacation, we need a vacation calendar, Michael.
Good job, Mr. January.
Very good job.
Let's go.
All right, if everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the invocation.
Let's pray. Oh God, our Father, thank you for the privilege of being able to gather this evening to conduct the business of this community. Fathers, with dreams and visions that we all gather here tonight, each one of us concerned, asking for your wisdom and knowledge and guidance, especially the people that sit in the front of this room. God, would you endow them with extreme wisdom and knowledge? Give them a vision of what you desire so families will thrive and children will grow. Thank you, Father, for all these things, and we thank you for those who are protectors of us. Thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please
Amen.
stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. Mr. January, roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. President. Vice President Neal, absent. Councilwoman Haynes Edwards. Councilwoman Chandler Felton.
Present.
Councilwoman Uselak.
Present.
Councilman Pettit, or President.
Present.
Councilwoman Hardaway.
Present.
President Bella. 4 present, 3 absent.
All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is petitions, communications, acknowledgements, and remonstrations. The parade winner presentation. All right. Pinch hitting for Counselor Neal is Chaz Riley.
I know that Linda had some certificates and stuff. Let me see if they're on the office. I'll be right back.
If you bear with us, we have some certificates for the winners, but they might be in the town administration office. But we did have a great parade. Lots of people showed up, tons of entries. Everything came together really well, and really excited with the turnout and everything that happened. But yeah, as we wait on the town manager to come back, I can announce that this was the first year that we went ahead and did online voting for our parade winners. Normally, we pick out some people from the crowd to serve as the judges, but this year we put it up to the community to vote, so they got to go online and pick who they wanted to win, and or to pick their favorites. And so this year, the numbers, but this year the first place winner was 1073 VIP. They, if you guys want to come up, and they took first place in this year's parade voting.
107.
If you want to stand over here, we can get a picture. Thank you, guys. In second place, we had the phenomenal group of the 219 Riding Wranglers. Is anyone here from the Riding Wranglers? There we go.
There's a bunch of them. That's great.
And in third place, we had Danny the Groomer. Is anyone here from Danny the Groomer? We don't have them here today, but everything did go very well. Like I said, the parade was fantastic. Even our town manager came out and performed for us at the end, so that was fantastic. But thank you to everyone who voted, and thank you to all the
Thank you, Chaz, and congratulations again to the winners and to the committee. Rhonda's committee did an outstanding job. We always have a great 4th of July parade. I've had the pleasure of walking up and down Broadway a long time and a lot of miles, and it's always a great event, so congratulations. Mr. Griffin, Employee of the Month for July.
Mr. President, members of the council, thank you. It is my hope, I think I saw the judge, they're all here, very good. I'm going to ask that the judge and/or his chief administrative officer come up. We're going to recognize 2 people tonight, Mr. President, members of the council, and Mr. Clerk Treasurer. Tonight, we're going to recognize Jerry McCullum. And Sherman Wilder. Mr. McCollum? Thank you so very much. Your Honor, do you wish to read the certificates? There's one specially for each. Are you quite sure? Thank you. Very well. I want to begin by saying that, again, I commend the council for having this concept. It was Voltaire that said, by appreciation, we make the excellence in others a little bit of our own. So we're appreciating you in order to get a little of your excellence for us, I hope. So I'll begin with Sherman Wilder. Certificate of recognition. Sherman is respectful, thoughtful, kind, and extremely dependable. He shows up for every shift, makes sure the office is open, the court call is pulled, and the courtroom is set up and ready for the judge to take the bench. He represents the very best of what a court system resembles by nurturing and mentoring everyone who comes through our courtroom. He is always ready to assist any department when the need arises. Sherman is truly the heart of the Merrillville Town Court, awarded this 23rd day of July 2024, executed by the HR Director and myself. Congratulations. Your Honor, are you sure you don't want to make a comment here? Very well. Please. Jerry McCollum. Woo! I'm with him. Jerry is respectful, thoughtful, kind, and extremely dependable. He shows up for every shift, makes sure the office is open, the court call is pulled, and the courtroom is set up and ready for the judge to take the bench. He represents the very best of what a court system resembles by nurturing and mentoring everyone who comes through our courtroom. He is always ready to assist any department when the need arises. Jerry truly is the heart of the Merrillville Town Court, awarded this 23rd day of July 2024. Mr. McCollum? Your Honor, do you wish to say anything now?
Not anything, I'll let my chief of staff do.
Please.
Thank you guys for allowing them to have the opportunity for recognition that's well overdue. They truly represent the very best of what you want in any employees. They're always willing to step up whenever the need arises. They're willing to assist in whatever department calls upon them. You come through that door some days, you may actually see one of them there. As with Kenny, he also helps with us as well. So we just wanted to take a moment. We were able to sneak their families in so they can see that we really do care about them. And thank you to the town for doing this. Thank you so much. Mr. Griffin, come on.
You sure?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, stand back over here.
Please.
Oh, you want us to come up?
Yes, we're.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. The next item, we have no public hearings, Mr. Svetnov?
Correct.
All right, next item, ladies and gentlemen, is the consent agenda. Accounts payable register voucher approval for July 23rd, 2024. The AP register summary for art purchases for July 23rd, 2024. And approval of the town council meeting minutes of July 9th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Uzelak, seconded by Mrs. Chandler Felton. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. There is no presentation of declarations. Standing committees. Budget and Finance, Counselor Neal is not with us tonight. Trista, I don't know if you want to pinch hit for her or not.
There's nothing to report.
Okay. Under Council Affairs, I do not have a report. Mrs. Uzelak, Street Department?
Oh, yes, I had a call from Mr. Fred from Chapel Hill, and Steve will be contacting him in 2 more days. They are wondering about sidewalks, street lights, et cetera, et cetera. I had met with them at a homeowners meeting about a month ago, so Steve will be on the ball. He did put up 1 sign for trucks not to be driving through Chapel Hill. So we will continue on working with them, and they wanted to know about the street bumps. I just got ours in the 4th Ward. So Chapel Hill should be getting theirs soon. So that's all I have to report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mrs. Uzelak. To Mr. King and Mr. Griffin, I know we talked about it at our last workshop, and we were given the tentative paving list for those ranked 1 and 2 for all 7 wards.
Yep.
Michael, has Mr. Bella decided on a follow-up workshop?
No, but we're going to need to have one. I think because he was called out of town unexpectedly, we thought we would do something today. We get some of the data, but we will make work of getting that arranged because we do need to have the conversation.
Okay, thank you. Elections, Public Relations, and Town Beautification. Chaz amicably substituted for Counselor Neal. Does anyone else have anything from the committee? Leona, do you have anything?
No, I'm sorry,
No?
I don't.
Okay. I have nothing on environmental affairs, personnel policy, and employee benefits. Ms. Hardaway?
Before I start, there is a new posting for administrative scheduler, for the community center. Please go to merrillville.in.gov to apply. And Mr. Griffin, is there any update on the Baker Tilly,
The compensation study is underway, Madam Chair and members of the council. The HR director is doing primarily the work with that. There's been a lot of gathering. They needed some personnel data. They also have been asking us about when people have decided to depart from us, where are they going? So all the initial questioning is going on. If I tell you much more, I'm going to tell you more than I know, but the reporting and the process is underway.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing else to report for that committee.
All right. Ms. Hardaway, Public Safety?
I will defer to the chief's report when it's time for departmental
Okay.
updates.
I have nothing under economic development. Utility liaison? Ms.
No
Chandler Felton?
report.
No report?
No reports, us.
All right.
President.
Thank
I was about to say, Madam.
I will defer to Mr. Griffin on the abandoned blighted properties because Mrs. Haynes Edwards is out.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council, Mr. Clerk Treasurer. We did have our standing hearing of the hearing authority for the unsafe building and unsafe premises authority. We had the 3 members, one of whom did not show, but the 3 hearings did take place. We also started the process of acquainting the new members of staff with how that process should work. I did talk to our administrative law judge, Richard Gikas, and we're going to actually conduct a workshop first on code enforcement under the terms of the new nuisance amendments so that they understand what that is. And then when they're out there and they see that we're going to convert to an unsafe building matter that they see, we're going to have a workshop that Mr. Gikas has patiently and kindly offered to preside over and present at. It'll take a little time to get that together, but we're going to do that at the future. Otherwise, I have nothing else to further report. All
right, thank you, Michael. I do want to thank you and especially Steve and Joe, and actually Joe Berger at 6945 Broadway for being very patient. He sent me photos. Joe's out there every day. I get a text message from Joe probably every day. So the house is down. The trees are gone. I know it's long overdue. Sometimes the process, the red tape is what it is. So I want to thank him for his patience. And Joe, I've got another property to put on your desk at 6927 Delaware Place. So I will give you that information.
Forward that over and write it.
I will. It is a HUD. It's a HUD home that's in deplorable condition. I'm sure Brian can attest to that. All right. Anything else under blighted properties for now? Seeing none. The semi, Michael, you want to take the semi committee?
Yes. I actually do. Mr. President, members of the council, Mr. Clerk Treasurer, as you know, that is a committee designed to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The state already has established this committee. They're going to try to encourage every county and every local unit of government to have its own. I am on task to get the new logo that the United States Archives actually developed as the holder of the Declaration, and we haven't had a chance to convene. I am going to discuss with the council president that we should establish under Robert's rules a rule that will make this a template, but if nobody has anything to report, there's no need to call up a report from them and put them in a position. And our committee will need to have some meetings about planning first before we're ready. But we are going to try to get the logo underway and start talking about some ideas. I did exchange some emails with the chair, and we look to do even more in the future. We're just in the very inchoate early stages.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Anything else under the committee? Seeing none. Special town projects. Again, Councilor Neal is not with us tonight. Is there any report from any of the members? Leona?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay.
President.
I do want to back up to the elections and town beautification. Steve and Bob, where are we at with the town signage?
We're meeting again Monday.
Monday?
Yeah, Monday is the sign guy coming, the contractor coming, or the,
He's going to submit some information, but he will not be present.
okay, but yeah, Monday, 3 o'clock
Okay.
is our next meeting.
All right. Thank you. My report under Dean and Barbara White Community Center is that we have a meeting, our standing committee meeting, the fourth Thursday, which will be this Thursday at 5 o'clock. We have, Michael, I believe you and I conversed, we have changed the location to here at Town Hall.
Yes.
We have some information. Lisa and Michael and I met with some folks down at the center as it relates to the heating HVAC system. We're going to be talking about that. Lisa, any staffing, and I'm sure you're going to have something in your report in a minute. Keisha just announced the opening down there. So anyone that wants to attend, 5 o'clock here on Thursday. And that will take care of committee reports, department reports. Councilor Neal is not here. I don't know that anyone has Lake County Solid Waste Management District. Ms. Hardaway, NERC?
We do not have a meeting until September.
Okay. Stormwater Management, Mr. Lake is out as well. I don't know that there's anything to report there. South Shore Convention and Visitors Bureau. Fire Territory, Ms. Hardaway.
Nothing to report.
Okay. And department reports. Let's start with Lisa.
Have the job fair tomorrow at the Dina Barber White Community Center from 11:30 to 2:30. We have obviously the meeting that we talked about. We also have a couple of new employees that we've hired. We're looking into getting another one. And I'm hoping that all these things work out and we have a staff that's starting to grow and we can actually start doing some more things. I still am looking into a couple of more programs to work with. I actually had someone that wanted to do a boot camp fitness type training class, and I actually had a couple of people check in about yoga, so I'm going to follow up with them next week. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Chief Nusis, Police Department?
Thank you, Mr. President. For the month of July so far, we've responded to approximately 2,000 calls for police service. Officers have been pretty busy. We've had an uptick in some nonsense, I guess I'll call it, the best way to describe it, in Turkey Creek. About 2 nights ago, our officers have been saturating for the last couple of weeks. They've been saturating within Turkey Creek, and they were able to catch up with about 2 or 3 different groups of kids. Vandalizing, getting into cars, things of that nature. And here was the kicker. The age ranges were from 7 to 17. So we took them back home to their parents. Some of the parents were compliant, some of the parents understood, others not so much. But I'm hoping that it stops some of the issues that we have been having in Turkey Creek. Also, another one I want to report, Officer Osborne again with he's one of our officers. I have assigned him to the Lake County Drug Task Force, and they just had another raid in the 2500 block of West 65th Avenue. And in that house, somebody that was residing there was selling methamphetamines. So that's one more feather in his hat that he's gotten for all these illegal activities that we're having in town. I don't have any numbers yet for arrests and tickets because we're still not at the end of the month. But what I did want to mention is the Women's Self-Defense Seminar. We're going to be having that on August 22nd from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. It's going to be at the Dean and Barbara White Community Center. You can go online, or I'm sorry, if you have social media, there is a way to click on there and actually reserve a spot if you want to go. It's also got a card on there with the QR code. So we're hoping to see as many people as we can fit in there. So it's going to be, there is a limited amount of space, so how many ever signed up, that's how many are going to be there. We also have the National Night Out coming up on August 6th, 6 to 8 p.m. It's a great opportunity for the public to come out and get a meet and greet with some of the police officers and some of the townspeople. And hopefully I could see everybody there. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Mr. King, Street Department.
So a couple things have been mentioned already. The demo at 6935, 6933 Broadway. The buildings are down. The site has been backfilled. There's some grading and some seating that's got to be done. The big holdup on that was utilities, getting utilities retired. I submitted the court order to NIPSCO on May 13th. They finally retired both gas and electric service about a week ago, and the buildings are torn down. Other than that, we're doing our routine summer maintenance. We're mowing town properties and other properties that are turned into us by code enforcement. Having some issues with that because our staff is pulling up there to mow these blighted properties. There's cars in the driveway. There's people in the houses. There's pets in the backyard. I don't understand it. I told our staff if that's the case, then we shouldn't be mowing it. We get quite a few of these, and we get calls from our staff saying, hey, there's people here. So we're going to stop mowing those properties because I don't know why we're mowing them. A lot of trash pickup. This has become a common thing for us. Furniture, things like mattresses. Now we're running into areas where we're running into syringes being found in this trash, and that's a bad thing for our employees. They don't know they're in there. If they reach in there and get poked with the needle, it's really, really bad. Hopefully we'll finish crack sealing in Madison Meadows this week. Branches, we continue the branch pickup. We had some high winds go through last week. We're still picking up from that. Not everybody brings their stuff out at the same time, so we're continually going around town to do that. Speed humps are being put in, as Councilman Uzelak mentioned. We will be, Saturday, they will be in Chapel Hill Farms installing those. We'll be on 85th Avenue, we'll be on Marshall and whatever the next one is over from that. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but Bill knows. Okay, so they'll be there Saturday doing that. She had mentioned this resident, the HOA president at Chapel Hill Farms. We met with them. They want sidewalks, they want streetlights. There's a process for streetlights, which Mr. Griffin informed me today. It involves a petition. It's got to go to the residents to see if they want the streetlights. They want sidewalks. We've been inundated with trash and other things. We've done very little concrete work this year. We're trying to get to that stuff, but, things haven't worked out for us because of the needs of the residents of the town. We've had to shift our focus on other things. I also did reach out to Mr. Mike Neal. He's still on vacation until tomorrow, about the boardwalk at Prusen Park, about the overgrown vegetation. We will assist him in any way he needs us to do, and we will get with, I think we got with Dan Brown, the building inspector, last time when we had that boardwalk repaired. So we'll get a hold of Dan. I'll let Mike Neal go ahead and do that. That's his department, so I'll kind of guide him along the way if I can, and that's all I got.
Okay. Any questions for Steve?
Mr. King, will you provide Mr. Neal information on quotes for that boardwalk? We'll get with the building inspector, Dan Brown. I think he was the one who kind of spearheaded the last repairs out there. Okay.
So we'll get quotes and everything we need to get for the repair. We will get that taken care of.
Okay. Steve, this intersection back here where we had the speed humps.
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Congress have called me quite a bit. Everything is installed, right? The new rumble strips and the stop signs and the warning signs?
Yeah, so we freshened up the rumble strips like we had talked about. You don't want to get them too high because our plows will take them out. The illuminated stop signs are there. I got a call from Brian Deering yesterday, who's on the plan commission, who lives right there.
Yep.
He sat outside the other night for an hour in the evening, and he said not one car ran that stop sign. He said he's never seen that before. And so we got those up, and also at 68th in Madison, we installed two there as well.
Okay.
Okay, I have one thing to mention regarding Steve King as the director of the street department. We had a tree that came down on Hendrick Street with the last storm, and it was a pretty big tree, too.
It was a big tree.
And these two young men that Steve had out there, they worked vigorously. They took that tree, they chopped it up, put it in the chopper, and they were there all morning. So I have to commend them and commend Steve for the work that was done.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a tree that Councilwoman Uselak called me about. It fell in, it was blocking our road, it was blocking our sidewalk.
Right.
It's not on private property, but yeah, we got out there, we took care of it to make sure, everybody could
And I
get
have
down
to
the
admit, it
sidewalk.
was a big tree.
It was a big tree.
The other item, Steve, that we received I received photos from Mr. Bella, I think you did as well, out near 73rd and Whitcomb, with the people moving out of their units and just leaving all the furniture, carpet, and debris. And what, the question, I guess, from Councilwoman Bella was, what can we do? I know we have a waste management dumpster at Public Works, right?
Yeah, that's not for the public, and I'm glad you brought that up, because Waste Management gives us 8 free dumpsters a year for things like this. Okay, this is July. We're on our 8th dumpster, so we're gonna have to start paying for the dumpsters for the rest of the year. And I think I put that in an email.
Yes, you did.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay.
But yeah, we're, just because of all the trash we're picking up, we're gonna have to have more dumpsters.
Okay. All right, anything else for Steve?
No.
All right, seeing none. Mr. January, Clerk Treasurer's Office?
No report today.
All right. Mr. Griffin, your report.
Mr. President, members of the council, Mr. Clerk Treasurer, I have printed my report. It should be at your place there. It is available for your reading. If you have any questions to me, I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll be very pleased to be seated.
Are there any questions for Michael? No. Seeing none, let's move on to general orders. Under ordinances, we have one first reading ordinance, which is ordinance 24-27, an ordinance of the town of Merrillville, Indiana, providing that the zoning ordinance, town of Merrillville, Lake County, Indiana, be amended by changing the established M1 limited industrial zoning district classification to a planned unit development zoning classification, phase 6, and amending phases 5 and 7.
So moved.
Okay. And just for the benefit of the clerk treasurer and Ms. Hardaway, this is a ordinance, Randy Hall is in the audience, this is an ordinance, a petition that we saw, the three of us saw at the Plan Commission the other night. Randy is making a modification out at Liberty Estates. Randy, do you want to just come up, since you came to the meeting, and give you some airtime and just tell the other council members what you're, briefly, unlike the Plan Commission.
I was asked to carry on at the Plan Commission. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Randy Hall. I'm the president of Luxor Homes and Hallmark Development with Liberty Estates, which is on Whitcomb Street, just south of US 30. We have a PUD there that is approximately 200 acres. We will come back to you in the near future with an addition of about 50% more, taking us to about 350 acres, which will be the largest mixed-use residential community in the town of Merrillville. We come before you tonight, supported by the unanimous vote from the Plan Commission to do a modification to the initial phases 5 and 7. And what we are suggesting to you, based on mutual research with the town, which plans to expand Whitcomb Street for the general development in the area, to coordinate along with them side by side. We need to move a few things along. Basically, we are reducing the amount of commercial buildings, which is in our phase 6, and expanding the residential into that commercial area where we plan to coordinate with the town where a likely roundabout is to be located. There are some more details in the package related to that, but that's the big picture. It's really just to fine-tune things to coordinate with a master plan, and we are attempting to coordinate in every way with the town. That's about it.
Okay, thank you, Randy. We have a motion by Mrs. Uzelak, seconded by Mrs. Chandler Felton. Is there any further discussion or questions of Randy? Seeing none, Mr. January, roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. President. Councilwoman Chandler Felton.
Aye.
Councilwoman Uselak.
Yes.
Councilman, or President Bella. Not Bella Pettit.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hardaway.
Yes.
4 in favor.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
We have no second reading ordinances, and I don't believe we don't have any resolutions either. We have 2 BZA large gathering actions. The first, and I will apologize in advance to the petitioner because I am half Polish, but I will work my way through this. We have a large gathering permit from Father Nick Markowitz for the Salvatorian Fathers and Father Nick Markowitz. Approval of a large gathering permit, Polonia Pilgrimage, 5755 Pennsylvania Street. Dates of the gathering are August 11th, 2024. Times are from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This festival will be held on Sunday, August 11th, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., called the Polonia Pilgrimage. The event is a religious walk from Chicago, Illinois to Merrillville that will conclude with a mass service at the Salvatorian Fathers. A maximum number of 4,000 people are expected to attend this event. No tickets will be sold for this event. There will be 45 male and 45 female toilets available, which will be maintained by Service Sanitation. There will be 3 dumpsters and 55 trash containers on site, which will be maintained by Homewood Disposal, Homewood, Illinois. There is telephone service available in both the hall and church for the public. Paved on-site parking is available and accessible from the public streets. Therefore, no parking from surrounding property owners will be needed. There will not be any animals on site at this event, nor will there be any overnight stays or entertainment included.
So moved.
So moved. Motion by Mrs. Uselak, seconded by Ms. Chandler Felton. Voice votes okay, Joe?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor of the large gathering permit for the Salvatorian Fathers indicate by aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The next item is, and again, I apologize in advance. This is for Milos Durgovic.
Yes.
Thank you, Margie.
Durgovic.
Thank you. I'm going to have to turn to you and Joe because I admitted I was half Polish, and you guys can handle the Serbian. Approval for large gathering permit. The purpose is St. Sava Serb Fest Church Annual Fundraiser and Festival. Location is 9191 Mississippi Street. The dates of the large gathering are Friday, August 2nd, noon to 12 a.m., Saturday, August 3rd, noon to 12 a.m., and Sunday, August 4th, noon to 11 p.m. This fest will be held over a period of 3 days, Friday, August 2nd, 2024, from noon to 12 a.m., Saturday, August 3rd, 2024, from noon to 12 a.m., and Sunday, August 4th, 2024, from noon to 11 p.m. Approximately 1,000 people will attend each day. The maximum number allowed to attend per day will be limited by the Merrillville Police, who will be in charge of security. There will be approximately 6 male and 6 female toilets available, which will be maintained by St. Sava Church custodians. There will be 4 dumpsters and 25 trash containers on site, which will be maintained by Homewood Disposal, Homewood, Illinois. There will be no telephone service available to the public. There will be 500 spaces of on-site parking available and 600 lawn spaces. No parking from surrounding property owners will be used. There will not be any animals on site at this event. There will be no overnight stays. Entertainment will include several bands and dance groups. Alcohol will be served in a designated area. This is for St. Sava Serb Fest. Happens to be just down the street from my subdivision. Chief, we do this every year. Is everything in order?
Yeah,
You guys are controlling security?
Everything's in order, security's under control. It's always a pretty decent and quiet event. Well, loud in a sense of having fun, but quiet in the sense of any problems.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Uselak, seconded by Mrs. Chandler Felton to approve the large gathering permit for Serb Fest. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no old business. We have no new business. Is there any public comment? Please come to the microphone, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
My name is Bill Williams. I live in the Bell Oak subdivision, and I was here for the last meeting, sat right here, watched this council vote on that drug rehabilitation facility that they want to bring into Merrillville. The attorney came in here, and he stated his case, saying that we would be getting people from LaPorte, Porter County, and that sort of thing. It's common knowledge that Porter County has a drug infestation problem out there. So why I think it was Rhonda said last week, that we have a drug rehab place here, and beds are empty. So why would we be importing Porter County's issues, LaPorte's issues, into Merrillville? Why would we do that? 7 people here last week, everybody was here, that vote was 4-3. So there are 3 people on the council here who are serving the constituency. But the people that voted against that, and you know who you are, that's wrong. That's wrong. I've talked to people in my subdivision, nobody's for that. So where are these votes coming from? Where are you guys getting this? Are you voting on your own, or are you talking to the people in your different subdivisions? Because the people I'm talking to, everybody's saying they don't want that. Now, in a year, you bring that facility in here, and in a year's time, I guarantee you the police are going to be saying, oh, crime in Merrillville is rising. Now, that attorney stood here, and he said that facility would be voluntary when she asked him. Then the other lady asked him, will the court order people to go there? And he said, he stood here and said yes. Now, if it's voluntary and the court's ordering drug addicts in there, how do they keep them? What's going to keep those people off the streets here in Merrillville? What's going to keep them from committing crimes here? You see, why would we bring the problems of LaPorte and Porter County and that into Merrillville? If they want a drug rehab center, let them build it out there. We got a drug rehab center here, and it's not full. It's not full. So why do we need another one? Why do we need another one? This is ridiculous. And that's a travesty of what's going on here for 4 people to sit up here and vote for that drug rehab center to come into Merrillville. That's a shame. I'm embarrassed at our council. I'm really embarrassed. That's a doggone shame. Okay? Okay. So the other thing I have after that is the new bike trail, walking trail that east and west crosses Taft Street there. It's a new one that just went in. Okay, right by Innsbruck Country Club. I went over and took a look at it, and it looks dangerous. The foliage and trees are covering the bike trail. Who would want to ride in there? It doesn't look safe. That foliage and those trees should be cut back on either side of that bike trail at least 10 feet so you can see what's going on. Right now, everything is covering, the leaves are almost touching. It looks like a tunnel. That's unsafe. It's good that they put it in. It's new, and I don't know if there's a motion or anything out there to get that done, but I just want to go on record saying, hey, let's clean that up. Let's make it look decent. There's bike trails in Hammond. I went and looked at theirs and that sort of thing, and it's neat. Everything is trimmed back. Anybody can feel safe riding through there. But this one that they just did, I don't know if they're finished with it yet, but I know people are using it. They got a light right there. I was against it from the first place because they're putting it across a highway, Taft Street. So now in order to get that light to change, a person's got to come there, get off their bike, push that button, change the light, and then ride across. What I'm thinking is, how many kids are going to do that? When are we going to have an accident right there? When are we going to have an accident right there? I don't want to see somebody's kid get killed on their bike just riding. But that bike path is crossing the highway. It should have been an overpass. It should have been an overpass. Okay, but they brought it right across the highway and put a button there. So as adults, if we're riding a bike, if we're walking, of course, we would do it, but will the kids do it?
All right, so you're going to have to wrap up your comments.
Thank you.
Well, I think our park department could go out there and look at it, clean up the debris if there is debris.
Well,
And we've had the park department cleaning up the other bike trail before, so maybe Mr. Neal can send a crew out there, right? I
okay.
think.
Brian Messarch, 201 East 68th Place. I would like to see across Taft Street some big yellow signs because someone, a bicyclist, just passed away because they were hit by a car in Schererville at 73rd and Burr, where it crosses. So I'm afraid that something like that will happen at Taft. Taft, I've crossed there. It's kind of sketchy, dangerous, but I appreciate you bringing that up. I would like to bring up the idea of what we've talked about in the past, the property at the corner of 73rd and Madison Street, giving that to the fire department and police department so that they can have their memorial. The way I understand it, the property is deeded to the town, and the town just needs to designate it to the fire territory so that the fire department can start planning their memorial. And they have an idea for a park. First Responders Park would be awesome, and that would be a big win for everybody, the entire community. Segueing into, we need to start letting everybody know, August 6th, National Night Out. We're going to have a big party here for the police department. They're going to have all their stuff on display. The fire department will be here. They'll have their house, their smokehouse, to educate the children. I think it would be great if we could dedicate that property to the fire department on National Night Out, and that's only a couple of days away, so whatever we can do to get that. And finally, I do want to offer thanks for taking down 6935. It's an eyesore that's in our neighborhood that's been there for quite a while. Unfortunately, Mr. Berger was unable to attend today, but he does plan to come and thank everyone personally. I'm thanking everyone personally. Our neighborhood looks a little bit better now. Thank you.
Is there any other public comment?
Good evening. My name is Vern Hine. It's unfortunate that we do not have a full council tonight, but I'll speak to the people that are here. First, let me say that I'm not making any comments about any one council member in particular. Last Thursday, we had a solid waste district meeting just down the road in our new building on Broadway. And your representative was not there. Now, we only meet 6 times a year, every other month, and the meetings usually last 1 hour. I don't think that's asking too much for one of your representatives to be there. There was a lot of important issues that were brought up. Now, another thing that is a feasibility to get more attendance, if you do not have a member on the council which can show up, you can appoint somebody on your Board of Works, which some of the other municipalities do. So that's a possibility. But some of the highlights from our last meeting I would like to bring to your attention. First of all, we got a new director. Our old director was there like 27 years, and so we got some new blood in there, and I hope that she'll carry on the tradition of the old one. We have compost material, which the general public, and I guess you may or may not be aware of, that the district has for the residents of Lake County. You're allowed 1/2 yard. And this is really, really good compost. You can't buy anything any better. It's 2 or 3 years old. It's on our compost site, which is on 35th Avenue. Another thing that was brought up at this meeting, being at the attendance, we have 27 members on this board, and we need 14 to conduct business. And another thing that they were talking about is by having an executive committee of 5 and 7 members. But I don't think that's a good thing to have, because they're going to control for your district unless you're lucky enough to have somebody who's interested to be on that 5 or 7 members. Recycling grants. They had talked about holding up some of your recycling grants if your individuals don't show up. Now, Merrillville is entitled to, and the checks will be coming out shortly, $206,983. Now, that's a big chunk of change. And so put that in jeopardy just because you cannot have somebody that will show up at a meeting, I think is not right. Also, which is very, very noteworthy, we have a paint recycling place. And this is some of the best paint that you'll ever get, and it's $3 a gallon. They take the household hazardous waste and they combine it, and it's a combination of all the excellent paints, and you can buy it for $3 a gallon. Now it comes, when it comes out of the vat, it's beige, so you can take it to Menards or any place you want, put some tint in it, and you'll have the best paint that you'll ever got for $3 a gallon. Now, if you have something in the municipality, even this office or someplace that needs to be painted, they'll give it to you free. But the general public can get it for $3 a gallon. That's one heck of a bargain.
I'm buying some tomorrow.
Where do you pick the paint?
Leona has a question for you,
Where do you
Mr.
pick
Hines.
up the paint?
This paint is at our recycling center in Hobart.
Oh, in Hobart.
Now, it's considered Hobart, but yet it's on where Chrismore Bowling Alley used to be, it's around the corner on, I'm not familiar with that road, but it's
Wisconsin, I think.
130 or something. It goes into Wheeler.
Wisconsin Street?
But it's right on that place there. And if you call the Solid Waste District, they'll give you directions. But they have that.
I also have another question. Is the paint interior or exterior or both?
It's only interior.
Okay.
It's all latex interior paint. And like I say, it's the best. I've used it many times. And I put a tin in it, $3 a gallon. It's a bargain. Now, another thing, if the Merrillville school system, for some reason, has a school that is in financial distress, there is money available through the district that we will pay like $300-400 for a busload of kids to come from that school to our facility to learn about recycling. So again, that's another bargain. I mean, that people don't know about, and your representative should be there to know these things. I'm not singling this individual out, but they have to be there to know about these things. Also, there's a CAC committee, which is appointed by the district, and these people are like the brainworks of this organization. We give suggestions for recycling and everything, and so we got 5 new members, they were approved. That's something we haven't had in the last 25 years. I guess.
Does that cover it, Mr. Hines?
I think I had,
You went through quite a bit.
yeah, I know, and like I say.
Wonderful report.
Your individual person should have been there, or somebody from the Board of Works. That worked too.
All right. Thank you, sir.
I have a question.
Leona?
Mr. Hines, can you tell me that did you mention that you need more members in here in the solid waste committee group?
We need one individual from the town of Merrillville to be present at our meetings, which are every 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a representative.
We have a rep.
Okay.
Did
We
she
have
show
one rep.
up for any meetings at all?
We have one representative.
But did our representative show up for other meetings?
She can designate, or you can designate an alternate if she
Okay.
can't make it.
All right,
At
we'll
least you'll have
look
somebody
into
there.
that. Michael, make a note of that. And
Right.
all right, is there any other public comment?
Thank you.
Keisha, that's not you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Kay Guyton, 86 in Fillmore Place. Recently, or earlier this year, a stop sign was put in at 87th off of Merrillville Road. Since that time, the traffic noise level has risen exponentially. At nighttime, their speeding sounds like a drag race out there when they're taking off from the stop sign. So we was wondering, are there any plans to put in, say, a wall to help us, as a barrier for the noise levels from the traffic? Because our backyard space there, we can't even have the patio doors open without having to turn the TV up, because that's just how loud the noise is now from the traffic.
Are you on the east side or west side of Merrillville Road,
I'm on
ma'am?
the west side.
You're on the west side. You're
Yeah.
Sunset Cove?
Yes.
Okay. Michael, I guess make a note for Mr. Bella. Have you reached out to Councilman Bella?
I called the office, no one answers.
Okay. Michael will make a note of that. And we'll take a look at that. I'm not sure about noise barriers.
Something to help,
Right. Okay.
Okay, thank you all.
Mhm. Any other public comment?
Chris Holst, 800 West 73rd Avenue. In lieu of all the vandalism we've seen over at Steffick Park lately, and thank you for getting that graffiti cleaned up. When can we expect to have those security camera working again. It's been over a month.
We're hoping to have them up and running by Friday.
I will ride back there again on Friday, because I'm almost every day.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
When
so.
we're having
That's-
kids
that's what we're
running
told.
around and, our police department are chasing people down, that would be a nice resource to be able to have.
Yeah, our representative was out there today, and he said everything should be hopefully up and running by Friday.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Maddie Perry Lightfoot, 9142 Morton Street, Deal Crossing. I have a neighbor who has a above-ground swimming pool. I don't know what the law or the ordinance is. There's no fence. The swimming pool is big enough for adults and kids to get in there, and I'm afraid that some kid might walk up to that and get in there and maybe drown. Sometimes they keep it covered up, and sometimes they don't. So I'm just afraid for any kids in the neighborhood, and especially at night, they walk up there. I have a motion light, so the motion light will come on if they walk up there. The other thing is that in our subdivision, our mailboxes are situated in a certain part of the, certain area of the street. So the one neighbor, I don't know why he moved his mailbox, but he moved it over on the other side of the driveway. And when the mailman comes, the mailman's asked me a couple of times, whose car is that? When the mailman comes, he has to pull up, and then he has to back out in order to put the mail in there. The car does have an up-to-date license plate. It's been sitting there for about 3 months. It is parked partially in front of my house. So I don't know if there's a law with him moving the mailbox or what, I don't know. All the mailboxes are in a certain area with everybody except his, since he dug it up and moved it to the other side.
Well, it's usually up to the post office where to put the mailbox. You are in Creekwood Crossings, you said?
Teal Crossing.
Oh, Teal Crossing. Well, it is up to the post office.
Okay.
As
Okay,
far
so-
as I know.
Okay. Well, like I said, all of them were in the same area for each address, except he moved his to a different area. So, I don't know. I just, like I said, they've asked me a couple of times that was that my car? No, it's not my car. Because we have 2-car garages and space for 4 cars in the driveway.
I want to go ahead, ma'am, and report that to the Postmaster General in Merrillville here.
Okay, and I could get that, go to the
Call the
post office and
United-
do that?
Call the
Yeah.
United States Post Office.
80th place.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Nobody answers, so if I just go up there and ask for the,
Yes.
Yeah.
okay. All right, and what about the swimming pool? There's no fence there?
My initial reaction, Joe, is, does Teal Crossing have a homeowners association?
No, we don't.
I wonder if there's recorded
That's bad.
covenants.
We really need
Who
one.
built that, Vampirian?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll have to have Michael and our code enforcement look into it
Right.
and see. All right?
There's a code for that.
There's a code for swimming pools that you can either have a fence around the rim of your pool, or you have to have a 6-foot 6-inch high outside fence that's what I have.
Well, they don't have, they live at 9134 Morton.
Morton? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other public comment?
My name is Gretchen Robleski, 1966 Place in Merrillville. All too often, we come in here and we complain. I have done it many times. But today, I am here to thank Sheila Shine. I came here last meeting complaining about the same issue that I've been having forever. I'm a Merrillville resident for 40 years. It took her one day, not only to call me, but to show up at my house and say to me, "You have got to be kidding. What can we do?" She got it done. And I am so thankful for everything that she has done since I met her 2 weeks ago.
Gretchen, is it taking the van out from the old restaurant?
Yes.
You
The
can tell me.
removed. Yes, that's removed, a new roof, the huge U.S. Steel trash can that was, I mean, not a can, I mean, it was a trash bin that was in my neighbor's yard for years. You go out there, there was garbage. No garbage men were picking up the garbage, though. And you have a Chinese restaurant, and then you have a Mexican restaurant, and then you have the dumpster. What do you think's happening over there? And I was really frustrated. Someone said to me, maybe you should live in a gated community. No. Maybe we make Merrillville beautiful and keep it beautiful. And I think that Sheila Shine is on our wavelength.
She's shining.
And she shines. So, that's all I wanted to say, and I wanted to thank her personally, but she isn't here tonight. So it's recorded.
Thank you, Gretchen. Any other public comment? Seeing none, announcements. Our next town council meeting will be Tuesday, August 13th at 6:30 PM. Tomorrow is the job fair, as Lisa alluded to, from 11:30 to 2:30 at the Dean and Barbara White Community Center inside the Mike Anderson Event Center. See that sponsorship plug? And then, as Brian alluded to, National Night Out is August 6th. It's here, Brian. What time does it start? 6 to 8. That, Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.